When I was asked to come and speak about embracing equity, the one word that went into my head again and again and again was grit. How gritty are Pakistani women, and how underrated this word is for us. How many of you have taken care of everything that was required to be done today for being here right now? So if I can see a raise or a wave of hands saying, I looked after my children, I set dinner, I did everything that was required to be done to be sitting over here today, and I made it happen for myself. Give yourself a round of applause. Exactly 10 years ago, on this day, on this very day, I was holding a 2-month-old baby. And as I held this 2-month-old baby, who had been born with Apert syndrome, I did not know what Apert syndrome was. This baby was born without fingers. This baby was born without a voice. And this baby was also born to me, my second baby girl. My world had shattered. I was crying all the time. I was about to turn 30, a major milestone in my life that I felt. I was about to go back to my career, which I had left right before my maternity leave. There were so many things I had pledged to myself. And now I had this baby girl who was born with her own set of challenges. And as I sat and looked down at this baby girl, I looked down under the white light of this hospital rehabilitation center on this rough green sofa that I'm sitting on, shuttling between clinics. And I look at my feet, my perfectly manicured feet. I still remember the salmon mandarin color, ready to welcome spring. And then I looked at the feet right beside me. Broken toenails, a barely there chappal, a phati hui shalwar, and those toenails were just dancing on the white-lit ground. And as I raised my eyes, I saw these bright, sparkling eyes looking at me. आप नहीं हैं? बेबी है या बाबा? क्या हुआ? अच्छा परेशान मत हो, सब सही हो जाएगा. And I look at this woman, I feel shamed at my privilege. I feel bothered about my education. And yet I knew that some spark was taking place right there. मेरा नाम फरहीन है. मैं 4 साल से अपने बच्चे को इधर लेके आ रही हूँ. अब तो मेरा दूसरा वाला भी आता है, क्योंकि उसमें भी वही प्रॉब्लम है. आपकी बच्ची के साथ क्या प्रॉब्लम है? First my mouth was open, then my jaw shut. And I knew that the process of unlearning for me had begun. The process of getting over my own shame had begun. The process of asking why me and why my Aaliya had begun. The process of relearning was about to begin. And so I wondered, sitting right there, what can I do in this very moment to change the narrative? So I started talking to Farheen. By the end of that 10-minute conversation, I knew all about rickets, polio, and hernia. From this girl who came with a torn shalwar, barely their shoes, and lived in the jhuggies. That was my moment of unlearning. UNDP says 6.2% people in Pakistan are born with disabilities. Human Rights Watch says that the number can move between 3.3 to 27 million. But I ask you to take a look around here at this very event and look towards your left and look towards your right. And while we speak about equity and equality and embracing all of this, please tell me, who do you see in a wheelchair? Who do you see with impairments? Who do you see who may be struggling with invisible mental health difficulties? Please take a look around. Yes, that was me. That was me 10 years ago. Stuck in my bubble, stuck in my rat race, only looking forward, because looking left and looking right induces shame, induces fear, induces all of those unsettling feelings that we are not wanting to match up with, not wanting to hear. And so I started raising this baby girl. Eventually, by the time she was 15 months, she had 9 fingers. By the time she was 23 months, she started walking, tripping here, tripping there, falling here, falling there. But she started walking because when she was 2 months, I'd received the verdict that she would never walk. And this January, I celebrated her 10th birthday. My Aaliya is 10 years old. Resilience. I did not know the word. I did not know the meaning of the word. The courage, the creativity, the support, the hope, and the village that it took to raise this Aaliya of mine. When we step out of our homes, go into the workforce, one of the girls over here sitting asked me, you know, these talks happen once a year, and then what? And then what happens? What do we take from here? How is this going to benefit me? And I told her, if you can take one thing back from the talk that is taking place on the stage, that is the deliberation. That is your perseverance that you are going to walk out over here with. So resilience, hope, courage, support, your tribe, your women's network, and the men that we can spread awareness with. How can women be resilient? Living in such a patriarchal society where everything is driven by khana time pe milega. This video you saw. बच्चे टाइम पे स्कूल जाएंगे, अम्मी अब्बू का ख्याल कौन रखेगा? अगर तुम चली गई उस इंटरनेशनल ट्रिप पे तो घर का ख्याल कौन रखेगा? But times are changing. We are changing. The people sitting here are changing. Companies are changing. And conversations are changing. Resilience, grit. If all of us can pledge to raise awareness, to support the woman sitting beside you, to support the daughter, the mother, the wife, the sister, support the man, we can be a grittier society. We can be a more consistent society. A lot of people broke my hope. A lot of people broke my courage when I was this journey with my daughter. क्या ज़रूरत है इसमें इतना एफर्ट डालने की? ये तो कुछ नहीं कर पाएगी, इसकी तो शादी भी नहीं हो सकती. The shadi game was like the final count for her. But I want my Aaliya to be a member of this society. To be able to walk in a place and say, oh yeah, that's Aaliya, that's who we were talking about. You know how many people can now come out of their homes and not feel the shame? The shame that we are made to learn and recognize before we are even born. The shame that we carry genetically. The shame that is projected onto us so that we may not be able to take the next step of courage, the next step of hope, the next step of creativity, so that we may not reach out for the support that we may need to take the next step forward. So I ask you, when was the last time you saw somebody differently abled, and you said, shh, shh, niche dekho. Don't look at them. Don't make eye contact. How are you going to act if you make eye contact? How many of you may have experienced this feeling of anxiety, or this feeling of, what am I supposed to do now? So I urge you today, I urge you that you don't have to do much. When you see somebody on a wheelchair, when you see somebody in a place of struggle, smile at them. Give them a nod. Tell them, I am here, supporting you silently. I am here, standing by you. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to belittle you. But I am here to witness you silently. As today's talks commence, we forget about how important mental health is for men and women, especially women of Pakistan. Women who are sitting on your very table, who may be struggling, who may need to reach out. So please know that help is always available. Hotlines are available for you to reach out. Mental health is a real struggle. So if you need to talk to someone, if you need to talk about your struggles, you are not alone. There will be help available. So please talk. Be kind to yourself. Talk loud and be proud. Thank you.